Hey everyone, this is Shreyas and welcome to a new video about Oxygen OS 12. So over here you can see clearly that I am on Android version 12. So this is going to be Oxygen OS 12. So with that said, let's get down to all the changes that we see in Oxygen OS 12. To begin with, let's go through the boot animation. So you can see that the boot animation has changed a bit. So here you can see the OnePlus logo having the red fill color from different directions, and this is the new boot animation and there is no more oxygen. As you can see, this keypad is very underwhelming. I don't know why it is there. So now we are in and you can see how it looks. By default, all the icons are in the square shape. You do have other icons you can do via the OnePlus theme store, but we'll come to that later on. So let's just quickly look through at the UI features at the home screen. So if you drag down, this has changed a bit, the quick settings panel. If I have to compare, here is my OnePlus 6 running Android 11 as well. So you can see how the quick settings panel is a bit different on OnePlus 6. And if we move into the settings menu, you can see how different it is. The segregations are just lines now and the gray part has moved. Although you can bring this gray scheme back in a certain way, I will get to it in a few seconds. But yeah, that's about the settings menu. Also, if you go into the home settings, you had a very simple layout of wallpaper, icons and widgets. Now you have icons, widgets, layout as well. It's not embedded in the home settings anymore. And you have something called as transitions. Now this is like how some fancy launchers have it. You'll get a quick preview of it if you like it. I personally don't really want it, but yeah, it's there. I left it to default. This is something that is disturbing to me as a UI element. The setting button here and the setting button here are different, but clearly this is something coming from ColorOS. You have a new menu over here called as recent tasks. Now you can display the RAM information also when you go into the recents menu. Here you can disable apps from your RAM and always keep it as well. This is really good. There have been complaints about RAM management on other OnePlus devices. In that way you can really lock apps to the RAM, and I'm sure this could be really helpful as a feature. But let me just show you what this means over here. If you go into the recents menu, okay, you can see over here ColorOS is written and not Oxygen OS, and you can see the RAM available and the total RAM of the device. If I disable it, that particular text is not there anymore. One major bug is this arrow. This arrow should be somewhere here probably. I'm not really sure where it should be or can be, but yeah, that's there. And about the home screen layout, you can change it very quickly. I'll just show you. If you go into this and just swipe, all your icons will move up, and if you swipe down, all of them will move down. So this is a pretty handy feature, I feel, but you could do that. And not just that, you can remove multiple apps together. So that's a good thing as well. You can remove them all together or create a folder directly, which was cumbersome before and was better implemented in One UI, to be honest. With that said, let's move on to the stock apps. So let's go to the clock app to begin with. Clock app did not go through a lot of changes, but still the reachability factor has changed. When you open the camera app, you can disagree to the privacy policy and you still are shown that you did not agree to it, and the camera app is crashing. So over here, this is how the camera app looks. You have auto HDR always enabled. You have an AI mode over here, AI enhancement, and you have the full capability mode also, 48 megapixel mode. This menu remains similar as it was. Macro photography has moved here unfortunately, which was already a toggle over here. This is how flash looks. You have retouch and makeup options over here. Not just that, you have filters as well. So that's something interesting. People could probably make use of that. Okay, that's pretty smooth actually. There is a bit of jitter, but it's smooth overall. So that's about the camera app. Now let's see if there are any additional modes. So nightscape mode is there. You have the bokeh starburst mode as well. You have the tripod mode as well. That's good. Going into the settings, you have a level indicator, shutter sound, flip selfie, okay, location fine. You have focus lock and you have HEVC as well. which can help reduce the storage required, and you have HEIF support as well, which will reduce the size of the files you get. So this level indicator is there, which is pretty nice. Actually, I use it on the Pixel a lot. So you can see over here the level indicator is pretty useful. Tilt shift, expand, panorama, expert. Okay, Pro mode has been named as expert mode now, and you can choose lenses for Pro mode finally. So that's a great thing over here. There is a telephoto, there is for the standard, and there is for the ultra wide. You have focus peaking mode as well, which is pretty great honestly speaking, and you have JPEG and RAW options as well with aspect ratio. So apart from that, here's another change in the menu. You can see the letters are listed over here, and if I drag my finger across that, the letters will light up, and you can see a neat lighting effect lighting up the relevant apps with that particular letter, which is really good in terms of animation. I like that. One more app icon column has been reduced, so the list is longer. So just like Android 12, you can edit these quick toggles, and with that I have got the camera and mic access toggles over here. These are pretty quick, and this is a very handy feature honestly speaking, if you just turn it off and keep it blocked. Apart from that, over here you have a new screen recorder, comes in a vertical orientation now, and you can quick toggle only the record microphone and the system sounds, or else you have to go into its menu and see more details, which was previously available in the shortcut itself, but now it's not available. Also, you got a feature of adding front camera video while doing a screen recording, and you can record in H.265 and H.264 as well. Other Android 12 features include the privacy dashboard. So if I go into privacy, you can see again the toggles for the camera and microphone access are here, and here's the privacy dashboard, and it is exactly same as Android 12 stock on my Pixel, and even you can include the system apps. So if you can see over here, you can see when all location was used by the system UI. Cool. Now another thing, shelf makes a comeback over here. Previously the left pane you could choose in the 8 series about the shelf or Google Discover. Now it is Google Discover here, but you can drag down from anywhere for the quick settings panel. But if you drag down from the right corner, you can see the shelf. Over here you have weather, you have a toolbox, you can edit this. You have data usage, storage, new note, you can give physical activity as well. So here let me just show you something which will pop up. Here is my OnePlus Buds Pro actually. So they are paired to my OnePlus 9 Pro. Let me just connect quickly and try to show you. So yeah, you can see that they pop up really nice over here, and the pop-up is a bit different, and you see this particular widget over here. Now this is a quick widget in the shelf for the OnePlus Buds. You can see the buds and the case charge percentage here and change modes. So obviously these are noise cancellation modes, so I have to put them in my ear. So once I do so now you can see the charge percentage of both the earbuds over here, but also it's not infographic. You can change the modes. You can see noise cancellation on, off, transparency, noise cancellation, and here it is max noise cancellation. And if I just tap on that widget, it will take me to the detail menu of the OnePlus Buds Pro. You can see that it has changed from my OnePlus Buds Pro review, which you can check out over here on the card somewhere. So you can see how the widget and everything looks. So here there are a few changes. Find My Earbuds does not show the map anymore. The change in the settings, this interface has changed a bit. So there is a left and a right earbud, although the changes that you can make to individual buds and their settings remain the same. And this is just a UI difference, but this widget pops up only in the shelf. You do not have a widget for the usual Android home screen, which is kind of a bummer. And when I close this particular case, you will see it disconnected and just went off. Cool. Now into the settings, there are a lot of changes. Let's just quickly see how it looks. So let me just turn on Wi-Fi, and you can see how it looks. It will tell you what gigahertz connection it is. So this particular, and if I go into more settings, the layout is a bit different, and you do have option for sharing Wi-Fi QR code, and you can do it with nearby share as well, just like Android 12. Apart from that, mobile network looks a bit different. You can select SIMs over here, although I do not have a FinSIM over here, and data usage looks like this now. Apart from that, you can go to Bluetooth. Bluetooth looks similar. Now let's get into personalization. Unfortunately, you have to give a lot of you have to accept a particular privacy policy to get hand of this feature. Now for that, let me just show you very quickly how while installing, you can see over here the privacy policies for when you open the camera, which I will get to, and this is for personalization. So you have to accept this particular privacy policy, which reads something like this. So basically what it is that these services are provided by another third party for which you have to accept their privacy policy, and definitely it's not just with OnePlus. These data are going to be shared with those third party service providers as well, which is something of a bummer to me. Now this is something that is getting annoying for me, but however, this particular layout does not look very appealing. Not just that, if you can see, I just changed the icons and there's something called as customs. There is another privacy policy again popping up. So over here also, it is basically particular service of these icon packs is going to be provided by a third party who will collect the certain amount of data and might share with it according to their particular convenience. So that's something I found annoying. Another thing is in the icon size, you can just drag and increase or decrease the size. You can change the shape for the quick settings to square, squircle and things like that. I like it as circular only. Fingerprint animations you got all from Oppo and Realme UI as well. So ColorOS, Realme UI, all these animations are here. I kept it at none, which I used to anyway. Horizon light options came down. There were a few more colors previously in Android 11, and this is how the font changing part looks. And accent color, you can still choose from your accent color, but the input of hex code has gone away. I used to use a particular hex code to choose the accent color. Now I can't. There are only preset ones like this. So that's there. And always on display, the good part is that you have the scheduling option again, which I really admire. But the thing is that canvas unfortunately is not working for me. It is supposed to look really nice, but it doesn't. Another part is when I go into wallpapers, I again have to accept to a particular privacy policy, which will again go through these many permissions of mine and these many data of mine, collect it and share it with third parties. So here I had to give my folder access permission, which is understandable because it uses pictures from the internal storage. But let's see over here, you have create your own wallpaper and stuff. You have albums. Again, you have to accept to the photos permissions you need to give, such as location information, search for content and download stickers and other media. And access to storage. Access to storage is understandable, but it's not there. I don't have any album. Next over here is about the theme store. Now again in the theme store, you have another set of privacy policy, which includes call logs, read contacts and receive phone calls to provide video ringtone services. I don't really want, but to understand how this theme store looks like, you can go here and see. There are multiple themes which will include wallpaper, etc. So you can open the theme store here, which you have to sign in because again it is being provided by another service called as HeyTap, if I'm correct. So that's something I really found annoying. I don't really like it, honestly speaking. This is how the battery percentage part looks. You have optimizations over here if you have to save power. There are power draining apps which are suggested, GPS, refresh rate and screen time off, edge lighting, etc. can be optimized. You have things like that. Not just that, you have a power saving mode which will turn on automatically. Now these are things that already existed, and you have advanced settings. Now here, this is what probably OnePlus talked about, that they will give an ability to run in high performance mode without throttling any apps. So you have a high performance, but it clearly says that it could heat up your phone and increase battery consumption. Rest all are kind of similar, which existed in Android 11, it's just in a different menu. Now in system settings, you get gesture navigation, which is different over here. You can see the gestures exist, or you can get buttons and the orientation navigation, and you can switch to previous apps by this new navigation, which I thought was good. There is a mistouch prevention, which is nice, and there is a vibrate on back navigation, which wasn't working initially, so I liked it. You can hide the gesture bar. Everything else is pretty smooth. Convenience tools, you have a power button, screenshot, screen recording, shelf is included again, and scout, which will again ask for your privacy policies in some places. You can see over here the permissions that are left: contacts, messages, location, files and media. But it will work as a universal search for your phone, so that could be helpful, and giving those permissions does make sense. There is a one-handed mode, as you can see. Let me just show you. This is how the one-handed mode works. It's pretty nice. Another thing is about the split screen gesture. So if I have a particular app open over here, I can just drag up with 3 fingers and you can see the split screen mode has already started. I can open another particular app like this very quickly, and I think this is pretty useful, honestly speaking. And split screen, you can go into one-handed mode very easily as well, like this, which is pretty handy. Not just that, now you got the feature of using your 3-finger screenshot partially for the screen. So if I just tap and hold and drag till a particular point, only that part of the screenshot will be taken. Now this has been taken from ColorOS and Realme UI for sure. This was not there in OnePlus. This is something I feel is good. People could find use of it, so that's really nice. Not just that, you can have scrolling screenshots as well if you want to. And now you see Google is opening over here, but if I just drag my and let it go over here, it will start taking, if you drag it till the bottom, it will start taking scrolling screenshots. So that's something nice as well. So these are additional gestures which have been added, which are kind of useful. Apart from that, I just discovered this YouTube music widget over here. So if I play a song on YouTube music, this is how the widget will look. You can see it's interactive. When I hit play and pause, it just interacts a bit. You can see the widget interacts a bit, which is nice. But when you start music, this part is pretty much broken. Now, I don't know, this text alignment is completely broken over here. So you can see how disgusting it looks, to be honest. But the rest is working fine. You can choose your device input from here. Apart from that, let's try another thing, which is the conversation widget. And this is I'll choose my particular conversation from my other number. You cannot change the size of it as far as I can understand. Okay, no, you can understand. So this is also there in stock Android. So let me just send myself a message. So you can see the message has come in, and obviously with the suggestions, this is the text, how it looks. And when you hit reply, there is a button over here for sending, but when you start typing, it goes green, so you can send it from there. So let me just send a reply back from here, and you can see in this conversation widget the reply came in and 2 is popping up over here. But unfortunately, you cannot see the conversation sequence. Only one thing you can see. You can shrink it to a shortcut or get contextual thing, and if you hit that, it will directly take you to that particular conversation. You can see another message came in, 2 comes here, but hey does not come here anymore. So I wish that could. This same thing exists in stock Android as well. So that's something you need to keep in mind. So Oxygen OS is technically still bloat free, but what is happening is a lot of features are being introduced with third-party services, and those third-party services are asking for multiple permissions and a lot of access to your data. This is something which I anticipated with the ColorOS integration, because that's how ColorOS and Realme UI worked, which was not the case to this extent in Oxygen OS. So these were the things in Oxygen OS 12. As of now in the beta 1, a lot of things are unpolished. You saw clear bugs. You can see this arrow over here, which is a bug, obviously. Hopefully they get addressed in the beta 2. I will make a video about beta 2 again. But the thing is that the third-party services, the permissions and the privacy policies related to that is something that I do not appreciate. I do know that a lot of services I can live without, but I'm not sure who else will be aware of it. They might just agree to it for the sake of it, which I will ask you to refrain from doing. So that's about it for this Oxygen OS 12 video. Hope you liked it. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel so that you can get to know about my long-term OnePlus 9 Pro review, further Oxygen OS 12 updates as well, and other Android 12 related updates as well. So thanks for watching. That's been it. I'll see you in the next video.